So let's continue talking about how to manage emotional triggers. If you're watching this video, then you are being invited to practice today to recognize that you only have two options, war or peace, to keep it very simple. Managing emotional triggers and experiencing more peace in parenthood and breaking cycles is going to get a lot easier for you who are watching this video today. Because once you give yourself permission to start practicing to heighten your awareness by simply calling out whether or not you are acting, speaking from war or peace. Once you give yourself permission to practice that, therefore give yourself permission to master that, because anything that you practice, you start to master. Once you give yourself permission to do this, you will start to notice more peace quickly. The power struggles, the spanking, the screaming, the feeling absolutely overwhelmed, the fear, all of this stuff that we experience in parenthood is due largely in large part to us not being aware and to us not being intentional with whether or not we are adding to the relationship from a state of war or from a state of peace. And you are going to more naturally, you are peace and love at your core. So as long as you are just giving yourself permission to be aware of when you are operating from war, when you are operating as if you and your child are on two separate teams, right? Instead of remembering that you guys are on the same team. You remember you're on the same team when you remember that you want peace, not war. And all you have to do to reduce how much of your experience and how much of your parenting experience and how much of your life feels like war, feels like a battle zone, feels absolutely horrible. One of the ways to reduce how often you feel like that is to call out when you are feeling that war, those warlike tendencies, those warlike urges, screaming, spanking, hitting, fighting, all arguing, when all of that stuff is coming up within you and within the thought patterns, if you are you willing, will you dare today to be like war? Just call it out, war. It doesn't mean you're bad. It doesn't mean that you're a bad person. We all are tasked with staying aware so that we can choose war or peace in any given moment. We all have to stay aware of those warlike thought forms. So simplified, what this can look like is, let's say you and I are at dinner and you say something that triggers a release of intense energy within me, and my habitual reaction is war. My habitual reaction is to have a nasty attitude or to say something that's to say something that's not so nice, right? War. All of that stuff, if it's not peace, if it's not love, if it's not kindness, if it's not compassion, if it's not understanding, if it's not coming from a place of unity, connection, compassion, understanding, wholeness, love, connection, it's war. Right? You can start, just have fun looking at it like it's war. And, I'm more likely to react from a sense of war and from a sense of separation. I'm more likely to act like that towards you when you do something that triggers me if I'm not aware. If I'm not aware and if I don't have an intention to create my life from peace. And the same thing goes from our children. We are going to continue to perpetuate war in our homes. We want peace in the world, but we can't have peace in the world if we are not intentional about not having war in the homes. And it's, reducing the war we have in our homes doesn't mean you have to try to be a better parent or a better person. You are already peace and love at your core. So all we have to do is stay aware of the war-like patterns that we have programmed and conditioned with. So if you are watching this video, you are being invited to stay aware of the war-like tendencies that arise within you, the patterns we picked up in childhood and from the society of war, of gossiping, judging, doing all the things that you would do if you were fighting an enemy. If you were at war with somebody, you'd argue, you'd fight, you'd hit, you'd scream. If whatever is coming through you as far as a thought or an action is concerned, and it has a nature of anything other than peace, that's war, and that's okay. Don't suppress it. Don't feel bad about it. Sometimes you might need a little warlike, what I'm saying? Like if you and your child are walking across the street and somebody who is completely unaware of their own peace and love that's within their heart, and they're just acting from war left and right, and they try to approach you and your child in a very, violent way on the street, you're going to need to operate from, you're going to need to be able to get down so that it can protect you and your child, right? So I'm not saying to, look at those warlike tendencies that arise as bad or wrong. Just stay aware of them so that you can no longer be hijacked by them every day within your home with your children. Okay? So the task is simple, and it's just to give yourself permission throughout the day to be aware of the war-like urges and patterns and tendencies that arise, and to just stay aware of them. Call them out. Oh, war. Just call them out within yourself. You can tell when it's war or peace. your partner, yourself, your child, the people that manifest in your life, they are worthy of peace, love, and connection. You are too. Make sure that you're not going to war with yourself by speaking negatively and mean to yourself. All of these warlike patterns, they can't hold a candle next to the light that you are, to the love that you are. Every time you are aware of them, the pattern that they are starts to dissolve more and more and more and more. Well, Michelle, how long do I have to keep staying aware? That's a very interesting question on many levels. For eternity. That means you get to be yourself for eternity. If that means that you're not going to war with yourself and going to war with others, if staying aware allows us to be ourselves, be our naturally confident, not caring what other people think selves, if staying aware allows us to experience peace and joy for no reason, regardless of your bank account, if staying aware allows us to experience peace, joy, and to feel naturally abundant, and to operate from faith instead of fear, and to create connections from love and happiness and joy genuinely, then the answer would be for eternity. Stay aware. It only feels difficult in the beginning because we were programmed to live this life in a sleep and to just perpetuate the patterns and cycles we were programmed with by family and society. Choose war or peace in every moment. Keep going.